Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
We begin with a Port Huron mother of two killed by a hit-and-run driver while helping an injured bicyclist. The family of 40-year-old Candy Trumbull saying she died right in front of her two sons.
And tonight her family speaking out in hopes of finding the driver responsible. Priya Mann in Port Huron with their plea. Priya.
There's not a lot of street lights here along this stretch of Dove Road. It was pretty dark when that cyclist was injured. Candy Trumbull didn't think twice. She came rushing outside to help. The mom of two was killed in front of her two boys.
My sister was just trying to help someone in need. That's what she lived for. You know, she died doing what she loved, helping someone else who was in need.
Donna Trumbull's sister and best friend was killed trying to help an injured cyclist.
I'm sitting there thinking yesterday morning, why haven't my sister called me? And then I look on the table and see the funeral bag from the funeral home. To realize that she's no longer with us.
Candy Trumbull's sons, who were 13 and 18, were at home when their mom was hit and killed.
I'm calling daily to check on my nephews to make sure they're all right because I know I'm not, so they definitely can't be.
The St. Clair County Sheriff's Department says last Tuesday, just before 11 at night, a bicyclist was hit by a driver on Dove Road in Port Huron. That man stayed and called 911. The crash happened near Candy's home. As she tried to help the injured cyclist, the mom of two was hit by another driver who took off.
Obviously heartless, to be honest. Like, who in their right mind can just take off?
The family is now raising money for funeral costs and the two precious boys Candy left behind.
How do you want her to be remembered? A hero. Because that's what she was, nothing short of it.
And sadly, the cyclist that Candy was trying to help also passed away. So you have two lives here tragically cut short. The Trumbull family has set up a GoFundMe account to raise money for funeral costs. If you'd like to help, we have information on clickondetroit.com. Reporting live tonight, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
So awful. All right, Priya. We continue to follow breaking news from Westland. That's where a large police presence at the Palmer Road Baptist Church has taken place. Investigators say that's where they arrested a Detroit robbery suspect who opened fire at both Detroit police officers and Wayne County Sheriff's deputies. Fortunately, no officers were hurt. Suspect, though, was wounded during the shootout. And right now, state police troopers are on that scene, telling us, though, that there is no current danger to the public. We'll keep an eye on it.
An assistant Eastern Michigan University provost finds himself at home and off the job tonight. Dearborn police arrested him after he allegedly drove naked through downtown. It ended up being recorded and posted on social media. But there's more to go along with this story. Local 4's Rod Maloney has more.
It was a week ago today, broad daylight just like this out here on Michigan Avenue near Miller. Trucker driving down the street minding his own business, and he looks out the window and he sees something. He needs to take out his phone to record. A guy in his birthday suit.
Why are you naked?
This is the social media video post from TCD Dearborn. The man in the black Jeep, roof pulled back, had his own party going on behind the wheel. The trucker sent this to Dearborn police along with the license plate number. On Wednesday, Dearborn police found Dr. Michael Tu at his Dearborn home and arrested him. The Wayne County Prosecutor's Office charging him with misdemeanor aggravated indecent exposure and one felony count of indecent exposure with sexually delinquent person notice. Along with his assistant provost title, Tu also served as EMU Vice President for Academic Programs and Director of the Equality Research Center. The university pulled any reference to Tu from its website, but did put out this statement without naming him, quote, "We are troubled and concerned about this reported incident. The individual involved has been a faculty member and administrator at the university since 1989. Upon learning about this matter from Dearborn police yesterday, the university took immediate action and suspended the individual indefinitely, pending the outcome of the investigation and legal proceedings," end quote. Dearborn Police Chief Isa Shaheen had a statement of his own, quote, "This sort of conduct is illegal and will not be tolerated in Dearborn. I'd like to commend the concerned citizen for documenting the incident and bringing it to our attention," end quote. two went before an arraignment judge yesterday. The judge allowed him to bond out, gave him $20,000 bond, 10%, so he was able to bond out of the jail. But he's got two court appointments in the next couple of weeks. A probable cause and a preliminary hearing should happen by the end of the month. Reporting live, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
Okay, Rod. King Charles III making his first public comments since the death of his mother, Queen Elizabeth.
He cited his relationship with the Church of England as a guide for his monarchy and officially announced the new title of his son.
As my heir, William now assumes the Scottish titles which have meant so much to me. He succeeds me as Duke of Cornwall and takes on the responsibilities for the Duchy of Cornwall, which I have undertaken for more than 5 decades. Today, I am proud to create him Prince of Wales. I want also to express my love for Harry and Meghan as they continue to build their lives overseas.
And before his speech, he was greeted by a massive crowd that's been gathered outside Buckingham Palace. Tomorrow, Charles will be officially proclaimed king at St. James's Palace in an ancient ceremony that will be televised for the first time. Yeah. And here at home, there are many royal connections. One in particular is in rural Washtenaw County at the Zingerman's Corman Farms.
Their head chef has quite the resume. He's cooked in 29 nations and has served celebrities, presidents, and royalty. Today, our resident Brit, Tim Pamplin, headed to Dexter to meet the chef whose stops include Buckingham Palace.
I love being out here in the garden, but to be honest, I need to get back in that kitchen. It's where I want to be.
Meet Chef Kieran Hales.
Beautiful pearl cherry tomatoes, and we've got 3 different types of basils.
Managing partner and chef at Zingerman's Cornman's Farms out in Dexter. The sauté pans were moved aside today to make room for history. He has quite a collection of royal newspapers. Through the years, he said, like many others, when he heard the news, he got caught up.
Yeah, I don't cry. I've lost both my parents. I've had multiple people die. I wouldn't say I cry a lot. Yesterday when it happened, I had to step out of the meeting and literally walked outside and cried for 10 minutes.
His culinary journey has taken him to many places, including Buckingham Palace.
I got the privilege of making the Queen's chocolate cake a couple of different times.
It was during one of the Queen's trips to Sandringham Palace. The kitchen received a phone call.
And I actually had to take the cake on the train and take it up there. She'd already had 2 slices.
The conversation soon turned from cake making and cake delivery to those dainty little English sandwiches.
The preciseness, I mean, we probably would make 20, 30 different sizes of them, and then you'd only send out about 6 or 7 of them out into the actual palace itself.
The Queen would take a bite of each
and then keep her favorite. I think what was fun was that coronation chicken, which was created for her coronation, is and was one of her favorite sandwiches, and it would be the one that always disappeared, and it was the one I wanted to come back so I could eat it when it came back.
Which probably explains why the coronation sandwich is one of the top sellers here at Zingerman's Cornman Farms. As for the chef and his family, well,
we've said God Save the Queen a couple of times, and my oldest told my youngest to say God Save the King. I think that that will be part of who he is forever.
In Dexter, Tim Pamplin, Local 4.
I've interviewed him before. He's such a talented chef and so many stories.
Did you get to try the sandwich?
I didn't get he didn't make
I
a
really want
for me,
that sandwich now.
Delicious.
See how that goes, yeah. All right, coming up tonight on NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt, a look at the Queen's long life of service, the changing role of the monarchy, and how King Charles III's address to the nation is being received around the UK. That's coming up right here at 6:30.
All right, a sunny start to the weekend, but will we stay that way?
Let's check in with Kim for a look at the weekend forecast. There are some rain chances, huh?
There are some rain chances this weekend, but plenty of dry weather also to get out and enjoy the weekend, especially tonight. It is beautiful, a little warmer than it was last night, but not by much. 82 at City Airport, 80 at Metro, 82 now in Pontiac. Here's the 24-hour temperature change. So we are about 3 degrees warmer than we were yesterday at this exact same time. A couple of degrees warmer in Mount Clemens and Pontiac, but you might have noticed that we've had an increase just slightly in the humidity, so it's a bit stickier this evening, but it's going to really clear out here. So if you are headed to the Canton-Plymouth game, or maybe there's a festival going on right now in downtown Plymouth, it will be nice and warm right before the sun sets. And then once the sun sets, as you've noticed over the last few nights, it cools off really quickly. So if you, if you're usually pretty chilly, you're going to want to take along a jacket tonight for the game or for the festival, or even if you're going out to dinner, just take along a sweater or a jacket. Tomorrow we have an isolated chance of a few showers Spotty showers around the area. Better chance on Sunday. So let's talk about that more in detail coming up in the forecast.
All right, Kim. Today, the Michigan Board of Canvassers votes unanimously now to both the abortion rights and the promote the vote proposals to be on the November ballot. Last week, the board was deadlocked along party lines, but was then ordered yesterday by the state Supreme Court to certify both proposals. Republican members of the board had been concerned with word spacing problems, of course, on the petitions, and an argument that the court dismissed. The abortion rights proposal would ensure women have the legal right to abortion services. The promote the vote proposal would create early voting in the state of Michigan. The election now 60 days away. Hard to believe, but absentee ballots actually will begin to be sent out later this month.
A win in the courtroom today for hundreds of striking professors at Eastern Michigan University. A judge has denied a request to force EMU faculty back into the classroom. More than 500 members of the union went on strike Wednesday after not agreeing to a contract. Eastern is suing, claiming the strike is illegal under Michigan law. Right now, the university is still urging all students to attend classes as scheduled. Well, this deer hunting season, hunters will have to do something they've never had to do before.
The Department of Natural Resources rolling out several new changes this year, including making it mandatory for hunters to report their kills. They can do so by completing an online harvest on DNR's app or by going to the website, but they have to complete the form within 72 hours of taking a deer, and it'll take about 3 to 5 minutes or so to complete. State says failure to complete the form could result in a misdemeanor penalty. Our excitement is in the air for this weekend's big Lions opener.
But are Lions fans expecting playoffs? The results of our Lions fan poll coming up. But first, here's Kim.
A woman from Royal Oak had her brain tumor removed here at the Brigida Harris Cancer Pavilion at Henry Ford Health. All explained the unique procedure her doctor used to remove the tumor while she was awake and talking.